Planet 4546b is an oceanic planet on the Adrian arm of the Milky Way galaxy. The planet has diverse ecosystems across its oceans, with ecological dead zones just outside them where life is either really small or extremely large. The events of the first game take place on the crater that spans across 2 square kilometers. This crater is home to its own smaller ecosystems, which can range from rather peaceful to very dangerous. Today I will be focusing on the Safe Shallows, the spot where Riley Robinson, the main character, lands and is forced to survive using his wits alone. But how realistic is the Safe Shallows, and what are these creatures' real-life counterparts?
Part 1. The Safe Shallows.
On Planet 4546b, you hardly get time to relax. Whether you are running away from a Leviathan-class creature, trying your best to get some air, or just trying to find some food or a drink. There is one exception, however, the Safe Shallows. Filled with edible fauna and flora you will be using to your advantage till the end of the game, you will always find yourself coming back to this beautiful biome. As it is shallow, you don't need a flashlight to see, and even at night the area is bioluminescent. Due to the large number of small fish among the coral, I believe this is a place they go to reproduce and lay their eggs. Fish can be seen schooling together for protection in the area, even though there is no predators to be found.
Part 2. The Fauna.
The Peeper is one of the many small herbivores featured throughout the entire game, but first encountered in the Safe Shallows. It has bilateral symmetry and features dorsal and ventral fins, which allow it to accelerate rapidly, and even leap into the air to avoid predators. Their huge eyes allow them to get a full 360-degree view of their surroundings. They prefer to eat coral, which is where their beaks come in handy. They have a bioluminescent eyeball which they close at night to hide from predatory animals. It acts like a dolphin, but a much smaller one that doesn't have lungs, but is more like a butterfly fish when it comes to eating. It feels like the two animals were put into consideration when the Peeper was made. The Bladder Fish is a passive fish, mostly active during the day. They can move by expanding and contracting their bladder, which fluctuates its speed. They feature bilateral symmetry and feature a translucent membrane as a large part of their body. Like many other creatures in the Safe Shallow, the bladderfish is bioluminescent. Bladderfish have no mouths, but can consume matter using their bladders, which allows organic matter inside and acts as a filter, which can also be doubled as a water filter. It is very easy prey, as it is immobile at night. The PDA states,
ITS only identified defense mechanism is that it's composed almost entirely of water, air, and cartilage.
This fish seems to be a mix between a hagfish and a moon jellyfish, with the hagfish's ability to eat through its skin and the bioluminescence and membrane-like skin of the moon jellyfish. The boomerang is a fish active during most of the day, which consists mainly of a dorsal and ventral fin, but it also has a very small tail fin. Similarly to the Peeper, the boomerang's diet mainly consists of coral. Its tail is very bioluminescent. Because of this, it is easy to spot in hunts, so during the night it flees to hide by cave entrances and will flee near the seabed to hide as well. The fins are made of cartilage, allowing it to move without many restrictions. It also has 4 eyes, 2 on each side of its head. It is also the most versatile creature in the game, seeing as it is seen in more biomes, unaltered, than any other fish. Its behavior and diet suggest a butterfly fish, its skeleton says shark, but its body says boomerang. The garryfish is a small herbivore fish with elongated eyes. This will allow it to see predators approaching it, but due to its camouflage, it doesn't mind getting close to anything. They are very docile and during the night are even easier to catch. Their bioluminescence is limited to their fins glowing red around the edges. It is unknown what the garryfish eats, but it is stated as a herbivore. I believe this animal looks similar to, and acts like a pleco, though it is not a bottom feeder. It uses camouflage and stays near the floor to hide from predators. The Gasippolit is a herbivorous creature with a unique method of defense from any predator brave or dumb enough to try to hunt one. Biological warfare. When threatened, the Gasippolit will begin to vibrate, releasing balls of acidic liquid which will explode after a few seconds. This acidic liquid can even dissolve a synthetic fiber, according to the game's PDA. These sacs glow due to a bioluminescent algae found inside them, making the gasopod itself bioluminescent. This makes it closely related to Earth's skunks, but they look like a manatee who lived in Soviet Russia during the 1950s.
The whole fish.
The small herbivore has an unusual feature that you probably won't guess from its name: the hole in the middle of the fish. This small herbivore lives in low-light caverns, which most likely has caused its petite size. This is what the PDA has to say about its tail.
By manipulating the size and shape of the hole in its tail, it can perform unpredictable maneuvers.
This allows the small creature to get away from most other animals that attempt to hunt it. Like all other safe shallows animals, it too is bioluminescent. Its appearance reminds me of an angelfish when it comes to the head. The rest of it might be referring to the dotted pattern on the sides of some fish. The rabbit ray is an aquatic creature spotting bilateral symmetry. Its body is similar to that of a sea ray, but can be noticed with two orange protrusions on top of its head. These sense vibrations in the water similarly to that of a shark's snout. If a player gets near the rabbit ray, it will begin to emit crying noises. Like all the other creatures in the safe shallow, it too is bioluminescent. It lays eggs and watches over them to make sure that they're safe, but will not engage in combat to protect them. It seems to be a mix of a sea ray, a rabbit, and a radio transmitter. You know, I would say this area of the game would be pretty realistic. The fish have their areas, they have their zones, they have their own behaviors. They do their own things, they have their own lives. And then you crash, land, and eat them all. So I hope to see you again, and if you have any more ideas for videos I should try, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you, and have a nice day.